The following program was paid for by federal national funding. The views and opinions expressed are not necessarily those of the staff, management, and advertisers of WMTR. It is always advisable to consult a professional before making a major life or financial decision. Welcome to WMTR's Sound Advice. It's 65th hour, Mondays from 7:30 till 8:30, right here on WMTR. And here's your host, Theodore Tracey.
You are listening to the 65th hour, Mondays with Theodore Tracey, the voice for senior solutions. Welcome to my live show every Monday, 7:30 to 8:30 p.m., right here on WMTR 1250 AM. Today, my friends, I want to take a moment to introduce myself to you and why I'm so passionate and on fire to share with you this critical and valuable information about the next stage of your vibrant years and how we together can maximize them by you having the right information and knowledge to make the most enlightened and educated decision concerning the next journey in your life. Over the next 12 weeks, we will be discussing a number of very valuable and beneficial topics to help you ease your stress relating to health and financial issues by having the best sources and information available to you on each of these topics. Starting this week, we will also open up a Q&A where people can call in. We will then choose the best of these questions to help benefit and educate you on all these concerns in each of these categories. We welcome you to also email us at info@federalnationalfunding.com to tell your story and ask questions and concerns. Call in at 973-267-9687. That's 973-267-9687. My friends listening here tonight, my name is Theodore Tracey, and I am Senior Vice President and Managing Partner at Federal National Funding. I have been in the medical, health, and financial industry for over 20 years. I have an extensive range of experiences which my practice focuses on, such as helping families deal with financial burdens when one enters a nursing home or assisted living facility. I am also covering subjects such as Medicare, financial issues, and temporary care, advising clients on final stage planning, also crisis Medicaid long-term care services, long-term care insurance, veteran benefit entitlements. Then, my friends, we go all the way to real estate finance, property casualty insurance, and life insurance. It doesn't stop there. My passion for what I do is what gets me up in the morning. I have also been conducting educational workshops concerning senior veteran benefits, Medicare temporary care, and Medicaid long-term care. One of my passions, my friends, is to educate the senior community and all of you about government benefit issues when a family member has a need for long-term care. Now more than ever, this information needs to be shared with all of you. Due to the extensive amount of changes that are occurring right before our eyes concerning all these matters, and even more important, where all your children, friends, and family need to be more aware to prepare properly for the next stage for their loved one's life, even including their own. There is a lot involved to all this in the early stages before it becomes staggering and very stressful. That is why I'm here to talk to all of you tonight, so we can follow up face to face and sit down individually so I can go over with you in detail everything you need to be comfortable with moving forward. This is my goal for all of you and everyone you know in your life. Tonight's topic will be Medicare Options Turning 65. In the following weeks, topics such as caretaking for seniors, little-known benefits for senior veterans, Medicaid, final stage planning, home, car, mortgage, and life insurance, Social Security benefit options, senior placement, relocation, senior independence, nursing care at home, and so much more. My friends, I would now like to really dig into our topic, Medicare options for seniors turning 65. I would now like to introduce to you my producer, Ms. Diane Wesley. The lines are open and we have questions coming in. 973-267-9687. Diane, how are you tonight?
I am fantabulous. And that just feels so good because the lines have been open and the questions, Theo, that people are asking are truly important. And I think it's really going to benefit all our listeners here. So the first question that was asked is, can you please fill us in more on what is going on with these options for seniors turning 65 with Medicare?
Yes. First, I'd like to just define what Medicare is.
Okay.
The Medicare insurance program is a federal insurance program for people age 65 and older, and one if they're younger and they're receiving disability income for at least 2 years. All right?
That's interesting. Okay.
There is a 7-month enrollment period. That is 3 months before your 65th birthday, the month you turn 65, and then 3 months after your 61st birthday.
Can you give an example of that?
Well, when one has their birthday, you definitely enroll 3 months before, and then if you do not enroll at that time, you would be open to penalty period.
Okay, explain about the penalty period, because I think most people think it's just open enrollment for a whole year, and that's not correct.
Yes, what it is that in addition to having that 7-month window, okay, you also have an annual open enrollment period, and that's every year from October 15th to December 7th. Meaning the fact that, getting into the penalty period, you have a certain time period to enroll in the Part B as well as the Part D. And with the Part B, that we'd like to get into the various parts of Medicare.
Okay, we have a question. Another call came in, and they were talking about Part A. Totally confused. And if you could lay that out real clear, I think this would really benefit our listeners here tonight.
Yes, well, Part A, it actually covers the hospital stays.
Oh, okay.
You have $1,340 deductible.
Okay.
Okay. So for the first 60 days, there is no cost, but you are responsible for that deductible. And what that means is you are actually coming out of your pocket $1,340 before the Part A becomes active.
Okay.
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 After those first 60 days, okay, which there is no cost, for days 61 through 90, the participant would be responsible for a copay of $335.
So you were talking, Theo, about this 60 days over lifetime. Can you please explain that?
Yes. What it is that when one stays into a hospital and their stay exceeds 90 days, okay, that person would be responsible for 100% of their costs. They have what Medicare is allowed. They have what they call lifetime reserve days. And the copay for those days is $670. The interesting fact is they give you only 60 days. So at those 60 days, you're actually paying a copay of $670, so you're not being responsible for the excessive costs.
So excessive costs that could go into the thousands.
Absolutely, without question.
Oh, my. Okay.
Yes. Another fact which I definitely would like to bring to our listeners, they do have what the Part A does cover, there's a lot of misconceptions, the Part A does cover skilled nursing stay. And what that allows is if one is going into a nursing home or needs some, going into a rehab center, there's a lot of misconceptions about that, but there is a trigger period. One, in order to actually get that benefit, it is triggered by a 3-day stay in the hospital. The first 20 days is at no cost to the participant, okay?
Oh, okay.
Because that Part A actually covers the first 100 days. The first 20 days is free.
Okay.
All right. For the days 21 through 100, there is a copay of $167.50 per day, okay?
Oh, wow.
When it exceeds 100 days, that is when the participant would be responsible for all costs.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Absolutely.
So, okay, we just had another caller, and I guess this kind of segues into what we're talking about. Part B, they're concerned about the physicians, the durable, like you have equipment, outpatient services, and there's so many more of those sometimes than even just the hospital stay. So how is Part B different from Part A?
Okay, well, what it is now Part B does cover your medical insurance, your doctor visits, your durable medical equipment, your outpatient services, including physical and occupational therapy. when one retires or is going into retirement or becoming of age, 65, becoming Medicare eligible, there is a window period in terms of enrolling in Part B. For this year, 2018, that premium is $134 per month.
And that's solid. That stays like that
per month. That stays just like that. You can either have it come directly out of your Social Security check, or you could pay for it yourself. Either way, that is responsible, and it is based upon your income. So if your income does not exceed $85,000, the person would pay $134 per month. If your income does exceed $85,000, the next threshold would be $187.50.
And that's per month, just like the other one would be.
That is correct. Now, one important fact that I'd like to bring to our listeners is the fact that you do have a certain window to enroll in Part B. And if you do not take advantage, you'll be susceptible to penalty. That penalty is 10% of the premium. And now mind you that's
a lot.
Absolutely. And this is not just a one-time or penalty. This is an ongoing penalty that is going for the life of you having Medicare. So this is why...
Oh, that's crazy.
Absolutely. This is why I often tell people that are currently employed, if you do not need Medicare Part B at that time and you have credible coverage at your employer, it makes sense to delay enrolling in the Part B, because why double dip? Why pay the extra money if you're getting that credible coverage from your employer?
That makes sense.
Absolutely. And then also, as I said before, I mean, a substantial penalty period, and it's ongoing.
That's amazing information. And we had another caller coming in, and I think this is really starting to make sense. That's what people are saying, that this is very informative, and we're so happy you're here, because this is stuff no one knows about. No one tells you this stuff. It's not like in a handbook. You have to learn it and look it up, and sometimes that's not even clear.
You are listening to the 65th Hour, Mondays with Theodore Tracey, the voice for senior solutions. If there are any questions you might have, I welcome you to call in. That number again, 973-267-9687. Okay, I would definitely like to go over the various parts of Medicare. I think we need to start off there.
Okay, we had a caller come in, and the big question of the night is, what is the difference between Medicare Advantage and Medicare Supplements? Because if we can take Medicare Advantage and just really dig in and go over every detail, and then we'll go into the Medicare Supplements, I think this is going to benefit our listeners in ways they never thought, and then they can write things down and have a clear understanding. Okay?
Okay. Well, I think, first of all, before we can really discuss the Medicare Advantage and the supplements, we first really have to identify the various parts of Medicare. All right? You have the Part A, which we previously discussed, which covers your hospital stay. We have the Part B, which does cover your physicians, your doctor visits, things of that nature.
Yeah.
You have what they call Part C, and that falls under the Medicare Advantage plan. And what the Medicare Advantage plan does, it incorporates A, B, and D. And when we talk about Part D, we're speaking about prescription costs. So that is the nice benefit of the Medicare Advantage, because it really incorporates everything. And definitely, based on your financial situation, it can be more reasonable in terms of expense.
Okay, we had a caller wanted to ask this question. Is the Medicare Advantage, does that cover in-network, or is it only, if it's out-of-network, can they still use the Medicare Advantage plan?
Yes, you can. Most likely, normally Medicare Advantage plan, you are restricted to your network, unless you have a plan which they call the HMO POS, and that is a Medicare Advantage plan that will allow you to go out of network. But normally, on the whole, when you're dealing about Medicare Advantage plan, you are restricted to your network. So I often say, people, if you are considering enrolling in a Medicare Advantage, first and foremost, you want to make sure that your doctor is part of network, without question, because it doesn't make any sense. And then again, you want to look at your finances and just to see if that's comfortable for you in regards to your budget.
Oh, that makes so much sense. Now, a caller just asked, and I love this, because we're really getting some really fresh information back and forth, and even for the questions, because they're right on point. What about their deductibles and also their copays in this Medicare Advantage plan?
When you're speaking about your Medicare Advantage plan, once again, with your Part A, you have a $1,340 deductible. And what that means is you're actually coming out of pocket $1,340 before the benefit kicks in. With the Part B, you have a deductible of $183. And that, again, you're coming out of pocket before Part B coverage takes place.
Oh, wow.
So this is the reason why we're here this evening, to really discuss what we can do or what we can propose in terms of compensating for these costs. Because Medicare, as everyone probably is familiar, Medicare only covers 80%.
Oh, wow.
of the costs.
Okay.
So there's a shortfall there, a shortfall of 20%.
And can we discuss that shortfall? We'll discuss that later. But one other question, we just had another call coming in. So you're saying that unless they have a Medicare Advantage or a Medicare Supplement plan, then they're really paying a lot out of pocket if they don't set that up at the same time they have the A and B? Is that what you're saying?
Well, definitely. I mean, you are open to excessive costs because, as I said, you're only covered to 80%. So there's only what you're going to do. You can either handle it out of pocket yourself, or you're going to establish some type of coverage to pick up those costs. And the way we propose picking up those costs is either by way of a Medicare Advantage plan or a supplement. When I'm speaking with clients, I often ask them, what their budget is, how is their health. I often say that if they're reasonably healthy and resources are limited, sometimes it makes sense to pursue the Medicare Advantage plan. If you have substantial issues concerning your health, then sometimes you want to consider the Medicare supplement. Okay. And the positive point about the Medicare supplement, it allows one to go to any provider that accepts Medicare.
Oh, that's beyond exceptional information, Theo, because if you have had a relationship with your doctor and all your extended doctors for all your special needs, that speaks volumes. They feel comfortable. Half of life is feeling comfortable, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. I mean, I come in contact with clients. They've been with their physician for years, and they don't want to change.
No, they don't want to change. They want to feel like they should be entitled to have the same doctors that they've had because they know them. They feel comfortable with them. They trust them. So then the difference between the Medicare Advantage, can we go into the Medicare supplements, because it sounds like that seems like a better way, and if you can explain that to our listeners?
Yes. Once again, the Medicare supplement is insurance program that will take care of that shortfall. There is going to be a cost to that, a monthly cost. It is the most comprehensive coverage you can get.
In what capacity?
In regards to, picking up your copays, dealing, when you go visit your doctor, in terms of handling your copays, if you go into the hospital, those copays I had spoken about, that $167.50 for the days 21 through 100, your supplement plan would pick up that cost.
That's a good thing.
Absolutely. I mean, it definitely is more flexible. It is your most comprehensive program. But one thing I'd like to bring to everyone's attention, which people are not aware of, because and of course it makes a lot of sense, we're all shopping to get the best plan and the best cost, the most inexpensive cost. But one thing you have to keep in mind, when it comes to Medicare supplements, the plan, in regards to the plan, whether it be, and this is getting more, Plan N, Plan F, Plan C, and all these plans differ in terms of the coverage. But one thing that does not differ, in which you need to understand is, these programs are state regulated.
Oh, wow.
So as far as the benefits is concerned, the benefits can't differ. So if you're going to one insurance company and you have one plan N with one insurance company and a plan N with another insurance company, the benefits can't differ. The only thing that can differ is the cost.
Okay, and that's when they can come and sit down with you and go over all this so that they get everything they need and they feel very safe and secure, being able to keep their doctors, knowing they're covered under all kinds of conditions and unforeseen conditions. Is that correct?
Yes. I mean, what I do is when someone sits down with me, we're basically looking at their entire situation, taking in consideration their finances, their health, and things of that nature. And then what we do is we do a very comprehensive breakdown of the various plans and the insurance companies, because we just don't deal with one specific carrier.
Oh, so you have a lot of different carriers for everybody's individual needs.
Absolutely.
That's fantastic.
Absolutely. Because
okay.
as I said before, the only difference is cost. So if one insurance carrier can give it to you at a cheaper price, you're going to do that.
Right. If it's comparing apples to apples, basically.
That is correct.
Oh, beautiful.
That is correct.
Oh, this is so super. And okay, we got another caller coming in, and I think a lot of people really need to know this information. They asked about state and federal programs. Are there any available that they could look into, or you could explain to them when you sit down with them?
Yes, absolutely. In my experience, a lot of people are not aware of the various government programs that are there to assist them with some of the costs. Number one, they have a program called SLMB.
And what does that stand for?
That acronym stands for Specified Low-Income Medicare Beneficiary.
Oh.
And what that is a state program that if your income does not exceed $1,356, that Part B premium can be waived.
Oh.
Okay, so that's another nice benefit. And one thing I just wanted to bring to the attention to the audience, which I did not make you aware of, when regards to a Medicare supplement, that does not include prescription coverage. So in addition to, if you find that Medicare supplement is more advantageous to you, you will need an additional prescription coverage.
Oh, wow.
And, national average right now for prescription coverage is about $35. And then what I would also like to stress, there is a window in terms of enrollment for that. And then if you do not take advantage of that window, you would be susceptible to a 1% penalty.
That's a lot.
Yes. It roughly works out to be about 30 cents.
Yes.
But what needs to be, is the cost. You may see it may be minimal, but over time, depending on when you did not enroll, as I said, that penalty would be for life.
That's crazy. And also, if anybody has a lot of needs and issues with their health, and then they're paying a fortune for all those medications, that they really need to be aware of this. And another caller just asked, with the Medicare supplement plan, what about the co-pays and deductibles in relation to that? Because it sounds like that's more complete, if I'm right. Am I right, Theo?
Well, it's both plans are complete per se. Both plans are complete. It really depends on, when you're talking about Medicare supplements, it's more comprehensive. And then, based on that, you also require an additional prescription plan.
Okay.
But one thing I know you had mentioned, about government programs. There is a government program that does assist with prescription, and that is what they call the LIS, and that acronym stands for Low Income Subsidy. And remember when I said that one would be susceptible to a Part D penalty if you do not take advantage of that window of opportunity?
Yes.
One way, which is not very common and familiar to our listeners, and definitely in terms of people that I meet with on a daily basis, is that there is one way to have that penalty removed, and that is actually enrolling into that LIS program. That is one way to have that penalty stopped.
That's impressive, and I think that is very important to our listeners, because when you combine all these different programs and everything you need and all the expenses you need to cover yourself, and the fact that there's these penalty times, and you absolutely cannot let that slip, or you're going to be penalized basically for the rest of your life. Am I right?
That is correct. That is correct. Okay. But, one thing we have to do, and one thing that we try to do, is try to let everyone be aware of different resources and programs that would assist with some of those costs. Another state program that will assist with the prescription costs is called the PAD.
Okay, can you explain that in more detail?
Absolutely.
We just actually had a caller right in, ask that same question, so that's great, because, when you're informed, then you can make the correct decisions. Am I right?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Knowledge is power, without question. That acronym PAD stands for Pharmaceutical Assistance to the Aged and Disabled. That is a state program that does assist. If you have, say, for instance, you have a preferred prescription, brand name prescription, and you're paying $100, $200, that program would allow you to only be charged $7.
That's impressive.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And then also it does allow for a generic brand to be only charged $5. And then of course there is an income eligibility limit on that. For an individual, your income cannot exceed $22.65 per per month. If you happen to be married, your income cannot exceed $27.77. But, and then by chance, if your income does exceed that, they do have another, a partner program called the Senior Gold Program.
Oh, please explain that.
Yeah, that is a program that, if your income does exceed that level, it is not as advantageous as the PAD, but it does allow some discount. I think it's roughly about $15 plus maybe about 50% of the cost. But it's a program that if your income exceeds those numbers for the PAD, that you can, definitely, take advantage of the Senior Gold Program. And
this is something you can also, when they sit down with you, you can go over in more detail, because it sounds like there's a lot of elements to all of this, correct?
Yes, without question. I mean, one thing that we do, we're not sitting down with you and just pushing certain programs, things like that. What we're trying to do is we're doing a full assessment. Anything that I do speak with clients, strictly confidential, but we will do a full assessment to see what government benefits you are entitled to and let you know different things that could help you with your costs, because that's what it's all about. During our retirement years, it's all about saving money, and that's what we're trying to assist with.
And I've just been told that we got to take a break, ladies and gentlemen, and you have been listening to Theodore Tracey and Diane Wesley here, WMTR 1250, every Monday, 7:30 to 8:30 p.m., right here. Make sure you spread the word. Tell your friends and your family and loved ones. We really want to inform you. Thank you so much for listening. Do you ever wake up in the middle of the night and just worry about the next phase of your life? Well, worry no more. At Federal National Funding, we are a group of top professional elder care advisors here to meet all of your financial and insurance needs, such as paying your bills, Medicare Options Turning 65, caretaking for seniors, little-known benefits for senior veterans, home, car, mortgage, and life insurance needs, Medicaid planning, final stage planning for you and your loved ones, and so much more. At FNF, we are not a government agency, but we do specialize in government programs. If you are interested to learn more about how we can help and educate you, please call now for your free face-to-face consultation at 201-342-3300. To tell your story, visit our online website at federalnationalfunding.com. At Federal National Funding, where your interest is our priority. That's 201-342-3300.
It's Mark Mitchell from the WMTR Morning Team. By now you've heard about the great work from Benjamin Franklin Plumbing. They did an excellent job when they fixed a hot water heater right here at WMTR. And they can give you the same great service when you need them. From leaky pipes to clogged drains, Benjamin Franklin Plumbing can handle the repair. Now, unfortunately, there's no way to know when you're going to have a problem in the middle of the night, while company's over for dinner, or just as you're about to leave for work. And that's okay. Benjamin Franklin Plumbing offers full-service emergency plumbing 24/7. Plus, they don't want you to worry about the unknown. So they have plumbing protection plans that are right for any home. Right now, give them a call to get $50 off any repair. Some restrictions may apply. Call 973-557-4481. That's 973-557-4481. Family owned and operated for over 30 years. Benjamin Franklin, the punctual plumber. Find out more at benfranklinplumbingnj.com. That's benfranklinplumbingnj.com.
For 70 years, Classic Oldies WMTR has been serving the community right here in New Jersey. That's why each week we have WMTR's Rockin' Rough, where we try and find homes for New Jersey's homeless animals. This week, Gianna from Bully Rescue Warriors brought Samson. Tell us about Samson.
Is about 12 to 14 weeks old. He was born with a malformation of his spine, so he doesn't really have quite full movement of his two back legs. He kind of hops around sometimes, but he gets around just fine. We're in the process of getting him some wheels so he can move a lot better.
If you'd like to see Samson interacting with the WMTR staff, log on to WMTRAM.com, click on the Rockin' Rough link, and the video is right there. WMTR's Rockin' Rough from your animal-loving friends at Classic Oldies WMTR. WMTR's Rockin' Rough is being powered by WMTR's animal-loving friends at Trost Auto Body on Route 46 in Rockaway and TrostAutoBody.com, who reminds you to stay safe on the roads.
When this happens, trust Trost.
Broadcasting live from the Hilltop Nissan Studios, Classic Oldies WMTR Morristown, a Beasley Media Group station.
And now we're back. Theo, are you excited about tonight?
Without question. Without question. It's always a pleasure, and I'm excited to share good information with our audience.
I love it because the calls that have been coming in have been so outstanding. I get my chills. You know, I told you, J-Lo gets her goosies. I get my chills, and I feel so on fire, and I know you are, and seeing that smile on your face and feeling so empowered to be able to share the valuable information that we're going to continue to do for 12 more weeks, that gives me my chills. And, you know, and I'm so proud of what we've been able to accomplish with this, and I'm so impressed with the questions and the concerns from the people calling in. Please keep calling in. We want to answer as many as we can over these next 12 weeks. And then when you go sit down with Theodore, tell him your concerns. Write them down ahead of time, because that's going to allow him to have more time to really answer all your important questions and make the right decisions in any capacity of any of these insurance needs and issues, and also be in. I think seniors somewhere along the line have become not only less informed, but their rights have been taken away. Well, we want to bring them back. Am I right, Theo?
Absolutely. No question. We definitely are, we're advocates for seniors. We want to make sure they're being treated properly. We want to make sure that they're educated. As I said, knowledge is power, and we want to make them aware of the various government programs that have been set up for them, and a lot of people are unaware of it. So it is definitely a great pleasure of mine, and it's always an honor, and I should say that I don't take that lightly. It's always an honor to spread good information to seniors. It's just something that I'm very passionate about. It's all about empowerment, and I do consider myself a very strong advocate for the senior community. You know, anybody can call me with anything. I get calls all the time just in regards to different things. You know, Theodore, my mother's coming home for a facility. I need some transportation, things like that. So I get calls like that. People call me about anything. So I'm a very strong advocate for the senior community, and you know, I don't believe in them just being dealt with any old way. If somebody does tell me anything, I don't take it lightly. I do take it upon myself, and I will make that phone call to move on their behalf.
That's volumes, Theo.
Absolutely.
Because without that, it's like your word is your bond, just like mine is. And I think that's why we work so well together. And I'm just so proud of you, because that's why I love working with you. And we do make a great team because of that, because of our passion. And if you don't mind, I'm just going to share a story, because I think our listeners need to hear this. When my mom was alive, God rest her soul, and she needed a lot of care. And like within 6 years after my dad died, and I'd also taken care of him in the hospital, and I had 8 surgeries of my own, so I was going back and forth. So it took a lot, and doing my work and performing and everything else I was doing, and the coaching and all this. And I have to tell you, not being able to be informed in time can cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. Because Mom, she'd had some mini strokes prior. Now, this was not enough to really let people know, because it was in some of the facilities. And we were talking about the nursing home, which was awful. I got her into the assisted living, which was, they were absolutely brilliant. Spoke to the GM, the one that was running the whole thing. I always go to the head, not to the feet. Please do that yourselves. Please get the right information right from the top. Just like Theo, he's top in his field. Get to a facility that has the top care, top information, and they also keep you informed. Because when my mom went back to the hospital, and first of all, she didn't sign the papers for the long-term care, and I'd gotten her into the facility, the assisted living, before her leveling charges changed. And I know Theo is going to talk about that in another week, because this is important information when we go into long-term care for the insurance and the care and everything else. It's very important. Please tune into this. But with my mom, and to just pull it all together, she didn't sign. She put money in. We don't even know where that went. And before I became power of attorney and her power of a living will, and after that I did, believe me, she had a real grand stroke. And she looked like the Elephant Man or from Jim Carrey in The Mask. It was the most horrifying thing. And because of everything she went through, instead of being able to have it taken care of through a long-term insurance plan, I had to pay it out of pocket. And that's hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. So somebody could live a long time after that. Or they might live a short time, but you still have to pay those bills. So please, I beg you, get that information. Sit down with Theo. Have him explain this in such detail that you not only feel so informed, you feel at ease and you feel comfortable and you feel like your loved ones are being taken care of. That's one thing you're not going to have to worry about, because there's going to be so many things, and I'm telling you, I've been through this with both my mom and dad. There's so many things that you're going to have to take care of that are going to come up, and you got to be ready for it. But not let these financial issues be part of that problem. Have that solved. Have someone that knows 20, 30 years in the business. He will get these things done for you, and you'll be protected. And thank you for listening to that, because that's my heart. That's why I love working with him, and I really believe in what we're doing here. We want you to have the most healthy, happy life for the rest of your life, and have things that, if they do come up, you can handle them because you've taken care of it ahead of time. Thank you for listening about that. That just came out of me. So, Theo, we just got another call in, and this gentleman asked about special needs plans. I know this is one of your specialties and your passions. So can you please go into more detail about that, please?
Yes, absolutely. There are various types of Medicare Advantage plans, okay? You have the special needs plans, whereas if one has a chronic condition, whether it be diabetes, end-stage renal disease, HIV, AIDS, heart failure, or dementia, that program would actually assist participants that are dealing with those type of issues. So it's more specialized.
And that's called?
The Special Needs Plan, SMP.
Okay.
But there are different types of SNPs, Special Needs Plans, yes.
Okay.
They have one for the chronic condition. Then they have what they call the dual eligible. The dual eligible program
and what is that about?
That is for people that have Medicare and Medicaid.
Oh.
So it really does, it gives you a whole lot more benefits, depending on the carrier dealing with. Every carrier has different, bonuses to their plan, but it does have added benefits, such as with some plans, they give you a catalog where you can actually utilize the catalog to purchase things that you would normally buy at a pharmacy, where they issue you credits, so it's not money coming out of your pocket.
That's important.
Absolutely. And just things like that. They have food programs.
Really?
Yeah, Meals on Wheels, some of these SNPs have.
Oh, that's excellent.
Health benefit booklets. So it's really more in depth and more advantageous in terms of the amount of additional benefits that the participant would allow. Another SMP program, especially, would be an institutional SMP, and that really falls under if one is entering a nursing facility.
Okay.
And being institutionalized, meaning going into a nursing home, things of that nature.
Which is sad in itself.
Yes, it is, and expensive. In addition to being sad, but super, super expensive.
We got to take a break, ladies and gentlemen, and you have been listening to Theodore Tracey and Diane Wesley here, WMTR 1250, every Monday, 7:30 to 8:30 p.m., right here. Make sure you spread the word. Tell your friends and your family and loved ones. We really want to inform you. Thank you so much for listening. Do you ever wake up in the middle of the night and just worry about the next phase of your life? Well, worry no more. At Federal National Funding, we are a group of top professional elder care advisors here to meet all of your financial and insurance needs, such as paying your bills, Medicare Options Turning 65, caretaking for seniors, little-known benefits for senior veterans, home, car, mortgage, and life insurance needs, Medicaid planning, final stage planning for you and your loved ones, and so much more. At FNF, we are not a government agency, but we do specialize in government programs. If you are interested to learn more about how we can help and educate you, please call now for your free face-to-face consultation at 201-342-3300. To tell your story, visit our online website at federalnationalfunding.com. At Federal National Funding, where your interest is our priority. That's 201-342-3300.
For those of you who have just tuned in, you are listening to the 65th Hour, Mondays with Theodore Tracey, the voice for senior solutions. Every Monday night, right here at 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. on WMTR 1250 AM. I welcome you to call in 973-267-9687.
Someone just asked, is that why when you go into a nursing home, they try to take everything away from you and you can only have so much for your loved ones to live on? Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Please explain that in detail.
Absolutely. National average right now, you're talking anywhere from $10,000 to $12,000 per month.
Wow.
That these nursing homes are charging.
And they treat everybody so terribly. So for them to take that much money, please continue.
Yes, I mean, definitely we have experiences where some facilities are better than others.
Okay.
And definitely one thing, when I'm sitting down with clients, you definitely want to evaluate the facility yourself, take a tour, speak to the staff. Very interesting that you mentioned that, people are treating people poorly. Yes, that is very true and very common, but you do have exceptions, and you have very good, strong facilities that are taking care of their clients. And I definitely recommend that, if children are looking at it, you want to find a facility close to you, and not just for the fact that you're visiting your parents, but also take in consideration that the facility knows that their loved ones are close by. I think it's very, very important. Just for every parents, I come into contact, parents are saying, I don't want to stress my children out. I don't want to be a bother in their life. Listen, it's not even about that. It's not about, being a stress or being a burden. It's about
it's having accessibility that you can get there quickly to make a decision if you have to sign a paper.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Making sure they have the proper care.
Okay.
And that they're being well taken care of, and it's super, super important.
And Theo, another real important point of that is so you can really check in and make sure they are being treated properly.
That is one of the main concerns. And then also, too, is protecting one's assets. Yes, based on your question there in terms of people taking their assets, yes, in certain situations, and we will get into this more in depth over the next 12 weeks. We will be getting to more detail, but the objective is to protect one's assets, to allow not to impoverish the family.
That's the most important point, and I'm sure we can all relate to having someone that's been in that position and stories to talk about that. We welcome you all. If you have a story about that, please let us know, because this is a big issue, and this does impoverish many families, the seniors themselves and the whole family. It just breaks down the structure. So Theo, this is also something when they meet with you, they can go in more detail and lay out their situation, correct?
Absolutely. That is actually our specialty in terms of asset protection, senior caregiving, protecting one's assets when they go into a nursing facility, and things like that. Protecting the home. There are a lot of misconceptions in regards to that, and which we will go into great detail over the next 12 weeks. But the objective being that we want to protect the assets of the family for the next generation. The people have grandchildren, people have children. We don't want to dilute the resources and impoverish one's family.
Absolutely
we want to keep the money within the family.
Yes, we do.
And definitely want it to be transferred according to the parents' wishes, not to be dictated by someone else.
I think that's one of the most important points, that it's the people that are making the decisions to keep it in their hands. And that was another thing another caller said. But a lot of times it gets out of their hands, and then the decisions are made in the nursing home. So you have ways to protect that, correct?
Absolutely. There's numerous strategies that we look to implement to protect one's assets. And if they are married, we're looking to shift the burden from the family, and we're also looking to shift, if there happen to be a married couple, we're looking to shift the income to the healthy spouse.
Now that's very important, and I think that needs to be, I know with our other days and topics, and each Monday I think we're going to be delving deeper into so many important issues. Oh, we had a caller ask, when they come down to sit down with you, can they, let's say the daughter or the son of the mom or the grandma, do you mind if they come in and learn with them so that they can be well informed as well?
Not at all. I actually welcome that because I think it's very important that the children be involved with their parents' life and in terms of the decision making. Mm-hmm. It is very important, and I welcome that because
I love that.
It's very, very important, without question.
So basically, that would be encouraged because then everybody can be informed at the same time and then discuss everything that they need to do moving forward.
Yes, that is correct. Absolutely.
And I think there's another point that people are not aware of, that even the children of the parents, they also have to set some things up beforehand as well, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one thing that is not really looked upon, children on a whole, when it comes to their parents, we often don't look at ourselves and say, okay, what happens if my mother or my father gets hurt? What happens if they slip and fall, or they have a stroke, or they have a heart attack? In my experience, children are not really thinking on that level in terms of pre-planning.
No, they're not.
And that's where the mistake is made. One thing that I often suggest, pre-planning is very important. The reason being is, when your parent falls and things of that nature, you're what they call crisis mode. And when you're in crisis mode, your options are limited. So it's more advantageous to you to do pre-planning because it's all about dollars. It's all about protecting your assets of your parents as well as yourself, but also making sure that your parents are taken care of. And I come across this on a daily basis.
Well, you know what? Time really flies when you are becoming very knowledgeable. And I think we're going to have to wrap this up now, Theo. And we'd both like to thank all our listeners here tonight. We hope you turn in next Monday, every Monday, right here at WMTR 1250 p.m., 7:30 to 8:30, so we can inform you basically about the next topic. And each week we're going to have a different topic, so this is going to allow you to prepare. So when you go to the website or you go to send an email, we really would love to hear your stories. We'd love to know your concerns. Everybody today and tonight has been so wonderful, and even prior to this first show, Theo, we've done our first show.
Yes, absolutely.
This is powerful. So, on behalf of Theo and I, we'd like to say goodnight, and I know Theo would just like to say a few more things.
Yes, well, my friends, it's been a great pleasure speaking with all of you who have just tuned in to listen here tonight. For those of you who have just tuned in, you are listening to the 65th hour, Mondays with Theodore Tracey, the voice for senior solutions, every Monday night right here at 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. on WMTR 1250 a.m. Over the next 12 weeks, we will be covering and discussing a number of very valuable and beneficial topics to help ease your stress and worry concerning and relating to health insurance needs and financial issues. We will also bring on industry experts on each topic we will be discussing each week. Next week's topic will be caretaking for seniors. These talks are ideal for seniors, senior veterans, and all their children, relatives, and friends. We welcome you to share the word to all those you think can benefit from these exceptionally important discussions. Each week, we will also open the lines up where you can call in to express your concerns and ask important questions about the topic being discussed that week. We will pick the questions from our listeners that can best serve all concerned in these matters. We believe being well-informed, secure, and confident in financial and insurance decisions can help lead to a stress and worry-free, happy life that you can enjoy every day with your loved ones. You have been listening to the voice of Theodore Tracey, the voice for senior solutions, where I will be speaking right here on WMTR 1250 AM every Monday night live at 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. Remember, my friends, if you are interested to learn more about how we can help and educate you on all these issues, please call now for your free face-to-face consultation at 201-342-3300. We welcome you to also email us at info@federalnationalfunding.com to tell your story and ask questions and concerns. Call in at 973-267-9687. That's 973-267-9687. Visit us on the web at federalnationalfunding.com. I am so excited to sit down with each and every one of you at Federal National Funding, where your interest is our priority. Till next week, my friends, stay strong, healthy, happy, and well-informed.
Do you ever wake up in the middle of the night and just worry about the next phase of your life? Well, worry no more. At Federal National Funding, we are a group of top professional elder care advisors here to meet all of your financial and insurance needs, such as paying your bills, Medicare Options Turning 65, caretaking for seniors, little-known benefits for senior veterans, home, car, mortgage, and life insurance needs, Medicaid planning, final stage planning for you and your loved ones, and so much more. At FNF, we are not a government agency, but we do specialize in government programs. If you are interested to learn more about how we can help and educate you, please call now for your free face-to-face consultation at 201-342-3300. To tell your story, visit our online website at federalnationalfunding.com. At Federal National Funding, where your interest is our priority. That's 201-342-3300.
The preceding program was paid for by Federal National Funding. The views and opinions expressed are not necessarily those of the staff, management, and advertisers of WMTR. It is always advisable to consult a professional before making a major life or financial decision.